biggest fear was that were we going to be able to get the right price for the home that we were selling and find that new home and move in one organized effort without having to be living temporarily somewhere while we're still looking for another house. And when we first met with Danny, he suggested what he thought the market might bear for our home. We were pleasantly surprised. He made recommendations on listing numbers and we went with it. It worked out very well. We actually met with 3 realtors before we made a decision. Danny came by reference from one of our friends, and there's no question that he had, in my opinion, the best energy among the 3. That seemed to be the one most interested in his job. I mean, he seemed to have like a passion for what he was doing. It was kind of like one of those personality things where it seemed like we all hit it off right away.
And it didn't feel like a big pressure. You never want to feel like your realtor is trying to sell you something. You want to feel like he's trying to help you find what you need.
The thing that stands out most in my mind was how Danny took the lead on coordinating all the different folks that have to be involved in the transaction, from site surveys, inspection people that he could recommend, setting up appointments, all the little things that you kind of don't really think about, all the little things that it takes to get it done even after you have your home under contract. You kind of think you're done and you're ready to go, but it's almost like that's when the process feels like it just begins. Being copied on the emails that he was sending and the phone calls that he was making, you definitely got the impression that, holy smokes, look at the magnitude of this effort and how great it is that he's taken the lead, because otherwise we would have failed to complete several things if it was left up to us to remember to do this or do that.
My husband and I pretty much agreed on what we wanted, but it was very specific. We sold our home and we needed to find a home quickly to move in to afterwards, so the time was ticking until we had to move out of our old home. And I would just add, we are very picky, admittedly. We weren't willing to settle for anything that we didn't love, so we were very grateful that Daniel was very patient with us, and we found the house that we wanted.
The little things that you tend to worry about when you're trying to both sell your home and find a new home to move into, you start to go, oh my gosh, there's all these things that have to happen at just the right time and all this stuff. How are you going to keep track? And within just a few days of that contract taking place, you can see the emails flying, and you can see the rapport that he's already got with all these people that he's been doing these transactions with, between closing agents and lenders and insurance companies. It felt like it was under control. Like you weren't gonna all of a sudden realize you forgot about something at the last minute.
We have already.
Yeah,
several times.
We have already several times.
Recommended, and
I know that what I said was you won't find a better real estate agent than Danny. You really won't. He takes the worry out of the process because you can see that he's on top of coordinating all these things. It really felt like he had control and was coordinating everything so that at that last second, if something did come up, it was going to be minor and easy enough to get taken care of.
I think that he just makes the process so much easier, and we really had nothing to worry about. We just knew that Daniel was taking care of everything. It was a challenge to find a house because of how picky we were, but Daniel took it in stride the whole time, so we were really happy with that. We are the Wings, and we would recommend Daniel to any of our friends.
And we highly recommend Danny for anyone that is looking to sell or buy a home or do both like he did for us.